You know, I'm here at Nutrition Treatment Center. I have Blake on the phone from North Carolina, right, Blake?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we just did our neuroendocrine immune workup utilizing the MRT, Dutch test, and the Braverman assessment. And Blake's allowing me to kind of share some of this stuff on this video. Thank you very much, Blake. So with Blake, he's 37 years old, successful guy who's been feeling fatigued for a while now throughout the day, but he pushes through, still works out 6 days a week, 75 to 90 minutes. He rock climbs, he's up at 4 in the morning. This guy is very committed to taking good care of himself and his family. His Dutch test shows significant androgen deficiency, which is his testosterone, his pregnenolone, and his DHEA. Cortisol is also low, so we definitely have adrenal fatigue, HPA axis dysfunction. We went over his MRT. He's another person who lost chicken as a food, right, Blake?
Yes, sir.
And were you eating any chicken at all?
I was eating chicken 5 times a day, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, so it's very valuable to do the MRT to make sure you're on the right proteins in food. So that's an easy fix. You know, you can eat other proteins, right? So that was easy to correct. We did his Dutch test, androgen deficient, and certainly adrenal fatigue. But also extremely important and interesting, and it fits in here, is his Braverman nature assessment, which is his neurotransmitter assessment. He's an acetylcholine nature type, but his biggest deficiency, he has depleted, deficient, damaged neurotransmitters. His GABA score deficiency was 24, and I believe his serotonin deficiency was at 12. So are you having a hard time sleeping?
All the time, every night.
Any mind racing?
My mind does not shut off ever. Just keep going.
Heart palpitations?
Yes, I try to take supplements to help, but yeah, it palpitates all the time.
Okay, so it's very, very important that we get to the underlying neurotransmitter deficiency. So what we're going to do for Blake is what I do for a lot of my clients in my office, of course, who do a neuroendocrine immune protocol that you can do here. Correspondence is put together support for neurotransmitters, support for his androgens, his testosterone, support for his adrenals. Now these are called nutrients and nutraceuticals, but he needs more sleep. And the biggest thing he's got to change or modify, Blake, is what? What do you have to modify?
I'm working out.
You're working out. You're working out, what, 6 hours a week or more? Or
Anywhere from 6 to 7 hours a week. Easy.
okay. And your weight training is 75 to 90 minutes. We talked about testosterone peaks in a workout in 30 to 40 minutes. After that, testosterone goes down, cortisol levels go up. He's inflammatory. There's a high probability that a lot of his androgen dysfunction, his adrenal dysfunction is inflammatory based, and he keeps pushing through it. Now couple that with the poor sleep, now his hormones, his physiology never has a chance to reboot. So we have to focus on his inhibitory neurotransmitters, his GABA serotonin, improving quality and quantity of sleep, reducing that training. I'm gonna put him on 3 days a week, 30 minutes, 4 seconds up, 4 seconds down, 4 sets per body part. We know that eccentric training, focus on the eccentric, is better at improving testosterone and GH than typical training with more momentum. And I like 30 to 35 minutes cap. Your cardio, by the way, if you do cardio, is going to be 180 minus your age. So 180 minus 37, what's it like 143. I don't want your heart rate, Blake, going over 143. Can you handle that?
It'll be tough, but I'll do it.
That's a perfect answer, because over 143 for you, you're going to come out of that aerobic phase. That's your aerobic threshold. I want you burning fats. I don't want you having any cortisol. I don't want any inflammation. I don't want you in this black hole between aerobic and anaerobic training. I want to reduce inflammation and stress. Understand? Your life is stressful enough. Your exercise shouldn't be, correct?
Correct.
At this stage, and this is for Blake, I'm not going to do this with everybody, but we have to make these important lifestyle changes. You see? Now, another consideration, Blake, are you using computers and your cell phones at night a lot? Are you getting a lot of that backlight?
I do a pretty good job with that. I try to stay off my phone. It's tough this day and age. You know, I read a lot, and a lot of it is on my device. So I try to cut it off about a half hour prior. But,
Yeah. Now you're going to cut it out about an hour and a half prior. So I want you to commit to taking down, the cell phones, the computers, some deep breathing. Are you good at writing a gratitude list?
I have not tried that. I've got habits of being grateful I
Good.
do that prior to I sleep. Yes.
Okay. Another consideration, post-workout, do you do any parasympathetic breathing, any box breathing?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Joe DeFranco, as you know, and I like whenever he talks about the box breathing. So I've been trying to incorporate it into my training. But since I'm go all the time, a lot of times I cut out that and focus more on the workout and
Good.
go after the gym.
All right, since we're taking your workout from 85 minutes down to 35 minutes, you got plenty of time to box breathe. Done. Okay, that's a summary. This will be in a protocol. I'm going to write up everything you need to take, how long and how often. Any questions for me at this juncture?
Yes, I've got two really quick questions, if you don't mind.
No problem.
How old does someone have to be to use the Braverman Dutch test with you? Can a 13-year-old do it?
Definitely. I believe your nature assessment, your predominant neurotransmitter is pretty clear by the age of 10. And we know that teens and preteens can absolutely have neurotransmitter deficiencies. Absolutely. Now, there's some questions there, like with respect to sex drive and this and that, might not be that relevant to a preteen or a teen. So guide through that with a questionnaire if you're thinking about a son or a nephew or a niece, daughter.
Yes. Is there any blood, is there any sample for neurotransmitter?
You can do urine analysis for neurotransmitter testing, which I think is a good test, and I've done it for decades. I find that the Braverman Nature Assessment is just as diagnostic, in my opinion, as the urine test. But sometimes I do both. But now that I've been using the actual Braverman test and then doing protocols, I'm thrilled with the results.
Okay, I've got a 13-year-old daughter that's going through some stuff that this would really help her out. So I'm gonna purchase another touch test.
Okay.
And
All right, but even before you do that, you might be premature. She's menstruating, correct?
Yes.
She needs to get her ferritin level checked. She needs her vitamin D levels checked.
All right.
You'll be putting the cart before the horse, and probably, you can do all together. Listen, the Dutch test is important, but quite frankly, get better labs on her. Go back to your functional medicine friend. She needs vitamin D and ferritin checked because oftentimes they're anemic, they're low in vitamin D, they're low in essential fats and protein. You start working with that, you can start to see an improvement in mood with a 13-year-old.
Okay.
Okay, does that help?
Yep, I can do that. And do you need any blood for me, or is there, since I'm a distant client, is there a way, like you said, hey Blake, I want to look at your blood, take these tests. Can I get it done locally and do the results?
At this time, I don't have a trusted lab or resource for that, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
But of course, if you have any previous blood work in the last year, send it to me, especially if it's a full thyroid panel. Now, if you're going to go to a physician, you want to reach out to me via email going, hey, Dr. Tom, what should I check? I'm helping to support you with that.
That's what I'll do.
That's better. All right, good. Any other considerations?
No, sir. I know where you need to go. I'm looking forward to that write-up. I'd like to leave you with a big thank you so much for what you're doing. I mean, this is big time. I really appreciate it. Feel free to use me as the biggest pincushion, case study, whatever you want to do. I'd be happy to help you out in any shape or form. If you're ever through North Carolina, you got a friend, you got someone to reach out to as well.
You ever heard of Boone, North Carolina?
Yeah, I go there often.
Yeah, my mother-in-law has a place not too far from there, so I'm familiar with that area. So a couple quick questions, and thank you for that share. Did I meet or exceed your expectations with respect to the testing and the report?
Exceeded.
Thank you very much. Do you have a favorite guest on the Industrial Strength Show?
Oh, that's an easy one, man. I downloaded all the ones from Dr. Tom. By the way, if you update your website, it shows all the podcasts that you're on.
Thank you so much, man. I do appreciate that, Blake. So we're going to do more on social media. Thank you for letting me share this on YouTube and other things. This is going to inspire people to step up and get some testing. Blake, you're a rock star. We're going to follow up in about 3 weeks. That's part of what you paid for. We'll get this protocol sheet out. I'm going to give you a list of all nutrients and lifestyle changes, the duration, and the dosage, okay?
Thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you, Blake. Do your best.
Take care.
Thank you.